Hey babes, I'm Mel.
And I'm Lil.
And we're your hosts of Building Beauty. We're so thrilled to have you here as we air it all out and share our experiences as brow-obsessed artists, thriving entrepreneurs, and women who care a whole lot about making the world a more beautiful place.
In these conversations, we promise to keep it honest, relatable, and jam-packed with juicy insights to help you create the life and career you're dreaming of. Okay, we're finally here.
We're doing it.
And we've been planning this podcast for about a year now.
Yes.
It is so special. I can't believe we're actually here.
We've set about 38 dates for filming, 72 launch dates, and we finally are here.
Yes.
And Building Beauty is about to be birthed into the world, my friend.
And I'm so excited. I feel like we have a million topics to cover, and we have been covering them ourselves in our mentorship, which has turned into a beautiful friendship and relationship. And I just feel so thankful to be here with you today.
Me too. I think this is a perfect place for us to start, to really shed light on where it all began for us and why we were, number one, drawn to each other, but number two, so excited to really share this very unique relationship that we do have with the world. We've obviously gotten so many questions about it over the years, but I think it's very special that we've built not only a work professional mentorship relationship, but also a really deep, respectful, loving friendship too. I think a lot of us are craving that in the world. So let's kick it off.
Let's
give the people some juice.
Yes.
Let's start with maybe our first memory of each other. Kind of like, what was our first impression, our first like falling in love moment?
Yes.
Do you remember?
No, I remember so vividly. I was driving from California to Arizona. I was moving here and I was literally on the highway on my phone, got on Yelp. I was like, I need to get my eyebrows done. Where am I going to get my eyebrows done? In Scottsdale, I was freaking out. And you were the number one place on Yelp. And I literally just booked an appointment. I think I went the next day. Like it was back to back. And I walked into, was that your second location on Thomas? Would that be Thomas?
I think technically it was like number 5, but
okay.
it was like it was the second more legit place. Okay, for sure.
And I will never forget, I walked in and I just loved my service. I loved Mel. I had signed up for aesthetic school at the time.
Which is why you were moving here.
Yes. Okay. Yes. My boyfriend and I at the time, we just wanted to change, and we knew Phoenix, I could go to school and work at the same time and make it all happen. And yeah, Melt was my first stop, which is so crazy to think in hindsight that you were my very first like establishment that I walked into here in Scottsdale. And you were just the cutest thing, and Melt was the cutest thing. I was genuinely so excited when I met you.
Okay, I'm so glad that I asked that, because I have like a little bit of blushing. I don't remember that at all.
That's okay. That's okay.
And I was thinking, when did I think of us first meeting, or what was my first moment? But touching on yours really quickly, I just think it's so special because over the last few years, especially, we've seen a lot of people leaving their hometowns and looking for new places. And we know now as beauty professionals, for someone to get on Yelp or get on Google and search best brows, best lashes, best skin, fill in the blank, and to be found at all is a really big honor. And then for someone to actually book an appointment immediately, and then for, of course, it to blossom into so much more than that is very cool. So it's always so special to hear when people are like, oh my gosh, I asked all my friends, or I looked online and you were the spot. And I know that you're that spot in Denver too.
Yes. I was yelping and driving.
Yelping and driving.
Yes.
Don't do this at home,
Yeah,
kids.
no, yes. Do not do this at home. Okay, so now, what was your first or memory of us meeting?
Okay, so I think this must have been our like second meet cute, at least. And I remember you signing up for training with me. And so it must have been 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
that was when I was on the Thomas location. And that's when really Meltiversity was spreading its wings, taking off. And this was back when I was providing a lot of services. And I just had a lot of women in the beauty industry like you who saw that I was loving on all the brows and wanted to learn directly. And I had the opportunity to train you first in microblading.
Yep.
And second in Brow Magic, which is our signature service. And of course, brows are just our love language. And so I had the chance to train you with Kayleen,
Shout out Kayleen.
Shout out to Kayleen, who's still a Melt Babe today. She's on our team.
So cool.
And admittedly, at that time, I wanted to hire you. And I was really upset that you moved. Because I think you were in aesthetic school. And I was just banking on, like, I loved you. I loved Kayleen.
Yeah.
And we had spent so much intimate, hands-on time together.
We did.
And I obviously saw that you were mega talented and just wanted to keep you for myself. So I tried to hire you, but you were moving to Denver. And I think at that time, I also tried to hire Kayleen. Mm-hmm. She moved away for a while.
She did. She moved to Colorado for a little bit, which is like such a full circle moment too.
Yeah. And then when she came back, she came onto the Melt team some years ago.
Which is so special.
I'm still holding out. I mean, I know we work together technically, but I'm still holding out on some way that we're going to combine our businesses. Know. But, we're kind of doing it.
I think it is so incredible what we have built, though, our not only mentorship, but our friendship. And I get truly that question all the time is just, how did this even start? How did, you weren't in Scottsdale for the longest time. You guys have kept this mentorship and friendship for years now. We have been in each other's lives for 8 years. Mm-hmm. We have been in a mentorship together for 6, mm-hmm. which is truly incredible. And I do think that is hard to find. It's hard to navigate those waters when you are looking for someone who you not only can look up to, but also have a relationship with. I think can be really difficult, or someone that really understands what you're going through. So I personally remember the exact moment when I called you. And I was in my car in this parking lot.
A lot of car calls.
I do a lot of calls in my car.
I'm on your Bluetooth, baby.
Yes. Number one. But I just remember it was a pivotal moment in my journey in aesthetics. I was working somewhere at the time, and their business plan had changed. They wanted more just true employees on their team. I knew my route was looking a little bit different. And I knew I was being kind of pushed into a solopreneur position and on my accord. But I was like, oh my goodness, where do I start? Where do I begin? And so I remember just shooting you a message, and then we hopped on the phone, and I was like, hey, have you ever done this before? And like, would you be interested? I don't even know what it'd look like. But I just knew you would be the perfect person because we gelled so well when we met here in Scottsdale. And I had admired so much of what you were not only doing at the time, but I knew the vision that you had for our industry and what you wanted to do in aesthetics. So yeah, I really just, I went on a limb, shoot my shot.
Oh, and it landed, baby. Slam dunk.
It did.
Oh, I remember that moment because I actually do remember exactly where I was.
Okay.
I believe that I had just started building out the mothership location, or I was like in here in some capacity. And I remember being in like a little tiny decrepit dark room. And I remember us being on call.
Yeah.
And the moment of feeling called up or called forward, that occurred. And I don't remember what I said, but I probably told you the truth that I hadn't mentored someone directly in a business capacity. And obviously I was doing a lot of training, and I had a lot of babes on my team. And so I was accustomed to mentorship, leadership, and just sharing anything from my heart that I could. And being able to help other women do anything that I've done was definitely a deep-seated dream that I had not acted on. And you gave me the opportunity. You opened the door. And I think we just both immediately were like, duh, yes, of course.
Absolutely.
And that's where it began.
I look back in that moment, and so much has changed, which we'll get into in all the episodes, but we have
a couple things.
Yeah, we have 3 of us on the couch today. But it has been so amazing to watch. And I missed being a part of Melt and the culture here. And I really did. When I got back to Colorado, I was like, wait, Melt was really something special. You don't see a layout like this often in aesthetics. So yeah, I missed it so much.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you. So I want to know, what was the moment you knew our mentorship and friendship would be something special? And how has our relationship evolved over time, both personally and professionally?
I think both the moments we just described,
absolutely.
Truly the moment we met. And I think this goes for anyone out there who really has someone, whether you just met them, whether you've been following them on Instagram for a while and you want to meet them and then you finally get the chance to. I think there's just these moments where and you might not know how you're going to stay in each other's lives. You might not know what purpose, but I just really believe that everyone shows up in our life at the exact right place, at the exact right time, whether we like it or not, to bring us great blessings and help us blossom and bloom, and also to bring us some lessons and some challenges. And I think it's obvious that you and I had a special connection from the beginning. It wasn't the connection I thought we had. Again, I thought you were just going to come join the team. But I was certain that we would have some sort of love affair over time. And so when you called me up that day, it was like, oh, this is what it was supposed to look like, or what it is supposed to be today. And I'm figuring it out right alongside you. And so let's just do this together. And I think both of us really having the courage to do that and trust each other and take the leap and dive in was our moment.
And I also think what's amazing is 90% of our relationship has been via Zoom, if you think about it. Like, we really got close via Zoom for a long time. Like, we actually, until today, we hadn't seen each other in person in 2 years. But it is amazing what you can create virtually. And I never, ever thought that would be a thing. But we knew each other here when I started. But I really feel like we blossomed so much into this mentorship. And now what I'm so grateful is a friendship.
Definitely. And to your second part of the question, how has it really evolved over time? I think that really is the secret sauce. It is the time. We've spent so much time together, whether it be on a phone call, a 1 hour Zoom for a while we were doing every week, every other week. We're now at once a month we connect, but we obviously talk a lot between then. And I think just that much time with someone in such an intimate way, talking about life and business combined and how to build a beautiful business while also building a beautiful life for ourselves. There's a never-ending list and lots of topics we're going to share over the coming episodes about what that really looks like. And, sometimes I think of a coach and it's like, oh, I had this coach and we worked together for 12 weeks to cross this project over the finish line. And that's beautiful to have a set container and also to be in the long haul with each other where we have really experienced so much. I've been running this business for just over 11 years. You just celebrated 7 years of Bellissima. 7. And so much happens. And so I think it's evolved over time, the same way we've evolved over time, the same way our businesses have evolved over time. And just being there with each other, it's so special.
It's so special. And I was thinking about this the other day. When I walked into Melt for the first time, I was 23 years old. And I just turned 31, which I do feel, every year in your life can be pivotal, but I really think in your 20s now emerging into your 30s. And I know it's looked so different for both of us, but somehow we are always parallel. We are always kind of on different tracks, but the same. And I think that has just been, I really owe it to you, the woman I am now in my 30s. You really shaped me in so many ways outside of business. And I think that's so important when you are looking for a mentor is how are they going to help you grow in your life, not just in your business, you as a human, you as a wife, a mother, a friend, I think there's just so many layers to that if I could give someone advice, you need to be looking at the whole package. And like you said, really for the long haul and not just, hey, can you get me to the next step?
Wow. Oh, I know. Thanks for
that. We won't cry on this.
Maybe no guarantees. Yeah. I'm just taking a moment to soak all that up and also to reflect it back, to really speak from the mentor position, and I think we both see each other just really super equal, but it's like the mentor to the mentee. But taking someone into your really intimate space and sharing with them and sharing really honestly, I tell you the real, the raw. And when you ask my advice, I am always honest. And, to spend that kind of, again, time with someone. Coaching and mentoring is not my first gig. It's not my second gig. It's really just like a passion, love thing that I do when it feels right like this. And I get as much out of it as I believe you or someone sitting across the screen does. And if I didn't, I don't think I would be doing it. And I think it's a great lesson of, is the mentor bringing on someone that they really are inspired to support and to hold the vision of their dreams like they're my own dreams. You know, that's really important. And I think that we've done a really good job of just up-leveling each other. And certainly I look around at my business and all the ideas we've bounced back and forth on those Zoom calls. And I think of the moments when I'm going through stuff, which totally happens too, because I'm human and I'm a woman running this business, and you've been there for me too. So just to remember that it's never a mentor is above a mentee. And just because someone has been a little farther on the road than we have in certain ways, we all have so much to learn from each other, and it can really be a synergistic relationship. And I think that's why we're still here, and probably why we're sitting here today.
Absolutely. I feel like every call we get so much out of, and sometimes we'll just have our life chats, and those are great too. But to know we just have each other, and especially going through the challenges maybe, or the different phases, or now I'm like so excited you're becoming a mom, and I can't wait for that day where I'm in your shoes, and there's so many different things
to share.
I can't wait. I really cannot wait.
Beautiful. I actually have a question for you around having a mentor and being a mentor, which you are. You have beautiful women who are working on your team, and you have lots of women in the industry who have poked you to do a podcast like this, or who send you DMs, or who reach out, and you're so open to share with them. I'm really curious how being a mentor, having a mentor, has changed the way you navigate all of those challenges you just spoke to in business.
That's a great question. I feel like you always can be learning from somebody, and you always can. It's not even just about asking for advice. I feel like it's really important to have another set of eyes on things, or maybe different perspectives, because they've had different experiences than you. And I just feel like I now look at my business so differently since we've started our mentorship, because I would have never, I've always learned this from you, but numbers don't lie. So we've really kept track of numbers and KPIs in my business that I would have never. I mean, when you think of a beauty business, you're like, oh, I'm in there doing my thing. You don't think of all the behind the scenes that go into a business. And I think having someone that holds you accountable, who knows you through and through, who's like, hey, this doesn't maybe feel aligned with who you are. You know, maybe for someone else it's great, but maybe not necessarily for you. And just keeping your core values while expanding your business, or maybe scaling back a little bit. I think having someone to provide a little bit of structure, a little bit of experience, maybe a little bit of challenging and pushing you to go to the next level. I mean, I remember when you're like, hey, why aren't you hiring someone? Because I was so scared to go to the next step. But if I hadn't had you push me in ways, I wouldn't have not only gotten to where I am today, but I also wouldn't have the confidence that I have today. So I also see that when people maybe ask me questions, I'm like, well, wait, is this right for you? You know, like, let's think about how this fits into your box and not every other box in the beauty industry. Mm-hmm. Just having that really great guidance through so many challenges, but also so many celebrations. I think of all the things you and I have been side by side, maybe not physically in person, but virtually, in celebrating together has been amazing. And I am so, so grateful for that. So I feel like there's just so many benefits to having a mentor. And I definitely would not have the business that I do today without you. Yeah, I can full-heartedly say that. Okay, now I want to ask a few questions back to you. So what do you think makes mentorship such a game changer for success in business? So I know from my point of view, because I needed your guidance in so many different ways. And I've also it's a piece of my life that I love now. Like I feel like I will have you in some shape or form forever. But if you could kind of look from your lens into me and seeing how we have created just different phases of Bellissima even, why do you feel like it's been such a game changer?
You spoke to so many of the key elements of what I believe a beautiful mentorship relationship can offer. It's what I seek out when I'm looking for a coach or a mentor. And I'll start by just sharing, every coach has a coach.
Absolutely.
Every doctor also has a doctor.
Yes.
And it's important to just have the value of like, if I believe I'm bringing you my 10x value rule, I also have to believe that someone could bring me 10x value and show me all of these beautiful blind spots or new opportunities, or be a mirror to reflect to me something that I might not see or know yet. Maybe they've had a valuable experience with something I'm going through. They have a really solid, emotionally sound way to navigate a challenge that I'm in. And, everything under the sun falls into that potential relationship. And so I think the value of having a mentor really comes back down to, are you always wanting to grow? And there are seasons of maintenance and staying the course, and, mentorship can come in and out of our lives at different times and for different goals. But I think just really recognizing like, hey, having a soundboard, having a safe space to go through the stuff that we will go through, having someone who's not in our business necessarily. It's not our manager. It's not our team. Having someone who's maybe not our partner, our romantic partner that we come home and talk work to. Having someone who's not a friend.
Yes.
That doesn't really get our business either. I mean, not
in
never.
some ways, but yeah.
But to really have someone who is somewhat of a neutral party, just like a therapist. I imagine most therapists have a therapist. I don't know. What do you think?
I would think so. And you've been mine for sure on some days.
But just thinking, like if I'm on this growth trajectory and if I really always want to be pushing the edges, if I really want to become the best business owner, if I really want to become the best version of myself, how can I find someone that can support me? And it might be different someone's through different seasons.
I'm grateful. It the board of directors of my life. I have a board of directors. So you absolutely are there. You have a seat. But I think it's so important to not only have a mentor, like we said, our therapist, things like that, of just people you trust, but they are eyes that are outside of what is happening in the thick of everything. And I think that's really important.
Totally agree.
I love it.
Totally agree.
How has our relationship been valuable to you in ways you didn't even know you needed in your life?
I love that question.
I was like, this might be the best question.
Well, again, speaking to the mentor-mentee relationship and how it can be so much more equal than people might realize. There are so many times that I get off our calls and I'm like, actually, should I be paying Lily? The same way we feel. I know you feel this way.
Yes.
I will have a client come in and I spent an hour with them doing their brows and their dermaplane. And I'm like, how do I receive your money? Yeah. Should I pay you? Because I got so much out of it. And there have been so many times where, again, we're so parallel, we're so connected, and we're going through something that the details might be different, but they're similar enough. And I just did it the other day. Oh my gosh, hey, I'm having some trouble with a piece of inventory that's really hard to keep in stock. What's your favorite product right now? What have you tried? What have you this? What have you that? And I'll ask you too. And I never feel afraid of leaning in to how much you know and how much you're willing to share. And so, that's really, really, really special to me.
Yeah, I think we probably now are seeing not only the value, but why we need each other over time. I think every year it's different. I think every month it's different. And every season of life it's been different for us, which has been probably the most beautiful thing. And I look back and I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize we would, get into this topic and this topic, but it has evolved into something so amazing. And I'm so grateful for that. And I feel honored that I can give you some wisdom too.
Well, even thinking of that, I'm like, oh yeah, well, duh, it's so special. One of the ways I didn't know I might need our relationship is to really have an anchor to look backwards.
Yeah.
And we constantly hear, stop and take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. You're doing so great. But it really is, I get a moment all the time to look back and be like, oh yeah, I've been there. Oh, this is what I did. And I remember all of those challenges that I did make it through. I remember all the ways I figured it out. I remember all those little sweet celebrations that you'll totally understand because now you're experiencing them for yourself. It really, above anything, I think it's been an anchor to all of the versions of Melt and Melissa all along the way, and getting to revisit those with you. Yeah.
I just can't believe we're here, honestly. It's amazing.
Okay, well, what's something that I've taught you that you didn't even know you needed?
Well, we could do a whole episode on this because there's like 100 things. But I think the biggest one, as I touched on before, is numbers truly don't lie. And I think you have this imposter syndrome a little bit when you are becoming a business owner of like, oh, I'm just, I'm doing my craft, like I'm doing brows, but you're also HR and you are everything with customer service. You are inventory, you are doing the finances. And I think you showing me and implementing these systems of like, no, you are a business owner. So step into that position, step into that hat, have that confidence, track these numbers. Let's see them grow. Let's see where you're really excelling. Where's areas you could be putting a little bit more juice into. You've taught me that these structures in these systems will only make you better. And just having a little more organization and accountability has completely changed myself as a solopreneur, as an entrepreneur. You've made it me know and believe that there are so many other things that are possible. I think the aesthetics industry can put you a little bit into a box, and I'm sure a lot of industries too, if you're in something different, but you have just given me that confidence that I can do anything that I want to do. And we always say we can always have both. You always can do both. And you've proved that. And I think there's a difference. A lot of people can talk, but you've put action behind it in your life and in your career. And you've given me tangible items for homework. And we have made a lot of dreams come true.
We sure have. More to come. Okay, so this is for all of our beautiful listeners.
Okay.
I mean, it's all for the listeners, right?
Yes.
At least like my mom out there. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I'm very curious, what advice would you give to someone who's really craving a business bestie, a mentor, but doesn't know where to start? Someone who is sitting in their car, who wants to pick up the phone, who wants to shoot their shot.
Just do it. I think you really just have to take the shot. You have to at least try. I am the biggest believer in all the answers you don't even ask, the questions you don't ask, it's always going to be a no. So think about, maybe write down things that you're looking for in a mentor, things you would love to, the qualities, the characteristics. Does their business or their life, is that somewhere you would want to be one day? Are they the type of people you would surround yourself with? And I would just speak from the heart. I would lovingly just shoot my shot. Like, I've been thinking about this for a while. I would be honored to have you as a mentor, even if that's just starting off by getting coffee. I don't think it has to be this, we now have made it something where we do meet monthly and we are very structured. We have our systems, but I think it can start off as a simple coffee and blossom into something so much greater.
Mm-hmm. I love that you spoke to really speaking your intentions directly to the person.
Yes.
So it's like, if you're sitting there and in our case, you're like, this is the person that I want to be my mentor.
Yeah.
And you asked me directly and you told me, hey, I would like you to coach me. What could that look like? And I think that's different than shooting someone a DM on their personal page and you're like, hey, I'd love to pick your brain. Can we get coffee sometime?
Yeah, no.
That would be my advice of what not to do.
Totally.
And not that we don't all want to meet for coffee and get to know people. But I think there is a different energy coming through saying like, hey, look, I'm inspired by you. I love what you're doing. Here's who I am. Here's that list that I'm looking for. Like, here's, if I could order you off a menu, here's what it is. And I would love to know if maybe we're a great fit and could work together. And I think for someone like me, I would open up that same DM, maybe on my business page, and I would feel really touched, honored, and I would know that you did your due diligence.
Absolutely.
To look me up, research a little bit, have thought about what you're really looking for. And you're not just wanting to take us to coffee to pick our brains.
Totally. You have a roadmap a little bit in your mind, and you have areas where you know you're wanting to grow, and you know where you're wanting and needing to be challenged. I think you also know everyone at any point in their life, a mentor is amazing, and you should have them. But I do think when you know you're ready to get to the next level, or maybe you just need to get out of that stagnant feeling, you want to switch things up, I think it's really important to write down the physical questions, write down maybe the areas that you're struggling in, or the areas you're like, we are doing so well in this. Have a little bit of a roadmap, makes it so much easier for a mentor to know where you need to go.
Totally. I'm also thinking of I was this person where early in my business, I couldn't actually afford to hire a mentor.
Yeah.
And so I knew, I'm a pretty intrinsically motivated person. I loved reading books. I loved personal development work. I got into so much good spiritual growth early in my days, you could say. But early in my business, I cannot afford to be hiring nobody for nothing. Nope. I became good at it. Yes. I became very mediocre at a lot of things. Commented to your website.
Your new graphic designer. All the things.
Just really,
it's so true.
Really making it work,
Yeah.
And early in those days, I definitely knew like, wow, I have all these visions of where I want to go, but it's not that I don't necessarily know that I'm on my way, but I definitely couldn't hire someone. And so I remember having who I still consider a mentor on YouTube.
Oh,
and I mean,
absolutely.
come on, we're in 2025 now.
Yes.
And the world has really opened us up, again, even our relationship to be so virtual digital and to remember just how connected we can be. We hear so much about social media and we're also disconnected, and that can be true. And what's also true is you could have a mentor who lives anywhere.
Yes.
You could have a mentor who's not living at all anymore.
Totally.
And finding, again, those people who just really feel like they like light you up, they do something for you.
Absolutely.
They might not even be in the same industry or even close, but just remembering that we always have the power to hop on those sweet little devices and find someone who might know a thing or two more than we know.
Yeah.
And when we do, you might just end up 6 years down the road.
Yes.
Really, really, really loving them and remembering why we're here.
And I think that's just talks to why we are starting this podcast. Like maybe you're driving on the way to work and you just need a quick little episode, give you a little motivation, or just let you know that we've been in your shoes too. When I give you a quick call, I'm just like, oh, thank God someone knows how I'm feeling. They remember that feeling, even if it was years ago. It's just having that comfort can be really great too.
I didn't even think of that. We might be the person. True. We might be the free person that they're hiring from afar.
Yes. So I just think there's so much magic in having a mentor, and down the road when you are able to afford something like that, where you do want it to be a consistent thing, it's the best investment I have ever made into my business and my personal development.
Well, for now, we'll keep dishing out all the good juice.
Yes.
We've got lots of episodes to come.
Cannot wait.
So excited. We are your business besties now.
We are. We're your business besties.
We did it. Building Beauty episode 1.
Yes.
Woo! Remember, wherever you are today is exactly where you're meant to be.
We're proud of you. We see you. And we're always cheering you on. Until next time, babes.